A very warm wishes to everyone. This is G. Chandana, enrolling a number 234Z18042 and I am from ECE department. Today my topic is function declaration from the subject Introduction to Programming. And now let us see what is the context in this presentation. What is function and the function syntax, introduction of function declaration, next syntax of function declaration and naming of functions, parameters and return values, next function declaration versus function expressions, then hosting of functions declarations and the examples of function declarations, next benefits of function declaration, at last conclusion of this function declaration. What is function? In C programming, a function is a self-contained block of code that performs a specific task. So, function is a group of a code or statements that which are in the self-contained block and hold together performs a particular task are known as functions. Now, syntax of the function: return data type, function name, and data type list. What is meant by return data type? Return data type specifies the type of data given to the calling function. A calling function, we will discuss it later. And function name. Function name is a name given to the function. So which type of a name we are given to the function is known as function name. Data type list. Data type list specifies the data type of the variable. So which type of data type we are using is known as data type list. Here we can see the example: int is prime int. So first int is the return data type, is prime is the function name which we are giving to the function. So here int is the data type list. We are using the variable int. So this is about a function. Now, introduction to function declaration. So function declaration is the way to define a function in programming. It allows us to create reusable block of code that can be called multiple times. So when we declare a function at once, so we can use that function in n number of times. So this line states that. And next, function declaration helps in organizing the code and make it more readable. Now, syntax of the function declaration. In most programming languages, function declaration starts with the keyword function. It is followed by the function name, parenthesis for the parameters. Here you can see, if any, it is opened with the open parenthesis and closed with the closed parenthesis, and curly braces for the function body. We use curly braces for the function body. A function body contains the code that gets executed when the function is called. Now we will see the example. Here float F2C float Faren. Here float is the return data type. F2C means we are giving a name to the function, that is Fahrenheit to Celsius. So here next in the open curly open parenthesis we see float Fahrenheit. So Fahrenheit consists of float data type. Next, second example, double parameter and double. Double is a return data type. We are using the function name power, and double is the uh, of variable of double data type. Next. Examples of function declaration in C. Here is one of the example for us. First line hash include stdio.h. This is the header file which we are using in this program. Next, int sum of int comma int. Here we are declaring a function. Here function name is sum. Return data type is int. So int of int comma int. first variable is of integer data type and the second variable is of integer data type. Here we can call this int comma int are actual parameters. So next main function and this open curly braces entering into the body of the function. Int a is equals to 5 comma b is equals to 10. Here we are declaring a variables a comma b and then assigning a value to the variables that is of integer data type. So a is equals to 5 and b is equals to 10. And then next sum of a comma b. Here we can see a function call. So then next program starts from 6th line to ninth line, that is int sum of int x comma int y. So a function call is happening in the 6th line, so it then moves to the ninth line, that is int sum of int x comma int y. This is known as a function definition. Above we called it as int comma int. Now we are calling it as int x comma int y. Both are same, but we are calling with the different variables. And then next return x plus y. So x is known as a and y is known as b. So x plus y is equals to 5 plus 10. So this value is returned to sum of a comma b. So now sum of a comma b is equals to 15. So that is going to be printed. That is printf statements. 7th line. When we see the 7th line, printf statement, that is percentage d comma sum. Percentage d is assigned to sum. So sum is 15. So we can see the output 5 plus 10 is equals to 15. This is the example for function declaration. Naming functions. It is important to choose descriptive and meaningful names for functions. Function names should follow naming convention of the programming language. Names should be concise but still convey the purpose of the function. Example, when we take a function name is prime. In the programming we are finding the factors of a number, so we are giving the function name is prime, so it is so meaningful, so we should give the namings of the function so meaningfully. Then next parameters and return values. Functions can have parameters which are inputs provided when the calling function. Parameters allow us to pass values into the function to work with. Function can also have a return value, which is the result or output of the function. Now we will see the function declaration versus function expressions. Function declaration is when a function is defined with the keyword function. Function expression is when a function is assigned to a variable. But both methods can be used to define function, but they have slight differences in how they are hosted and accessed. Next, hosting of function declaration. Function declaration are hosted, which means they are moved to the top of the scope during the compilation phase. This allows us to call a function before it is defined in the code. Hosting of function declaration can be beneficial for code organization and readability. Now we will see what are the benefits of the function declaration. Function declaration promotes code reusability and modularity. It enhances code readability and breaking it into smaller, manageable chunks. It simplifies debugging and maintenance as function can be tested and modified independently. Next one is conclusion. What we are concluded from this function declaration. It is very powerful feature of programming languages. It allows us to define reusable codes that can be called n number of times. Following best practices for function declaration can lead to a very organized and maintainable code. Thank you for watching this presentation.